He's the most adulty adult here. So
Oh shit! Hold,
He
fuck,
really is, though.
fuck.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Hey, Farva, what's the name of that restaurant you like with all the goofy shit on the walls and the mozzarella sticks?
Welcome to the Cam Shenanigans podcast,
You mean Shenanigans? Oh! You're talking about Shenanigans, right?
where Mike, Trent, and Zach, and a guest will debate all things automotive.
Our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Make sure to check out Cam Automag on all the social medias at Cam Automag. And don't forget to support our sponsor, Hustle Energy.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Cam Shenanigans, where I am just taking the helm and running with it. We are waiting on our favorite person, Trent. He'll be here shortly. Today we have me, of course, everyone's favorite thing to throw things at. We
Idiot
have
child.
Yes, we have our rock, our steady. He keeps us together. Our glue, Mike.
Hello, I'm wearing sweatpants.
And pulled off the bench, or you're on this side. Pulled off the bench.
There it is.
We said it's your time to shine. We need you now. Come on up. It is my man AJ. Or you're on this side still, AJ.
Hello again.
Oh, yes. This podcast is finally actually an audio podcast that you can go download. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on various other platforms now that we are on Apple Podcasts. So go check us out. Like, rate, review, subscribe. All of those things help us gain heat. That means more people are listening. And more people listen means I'm not going to get shot down by as many guests as I approach. So that'd be tremendously helpful. You know. So there we go. And yeah, as Trent said in the super copyright infringy intro, check us out on all of the social media platforms. We are at Cam Automag on the lot of them. The Twitter is probably going to go a bit more quiet just because, you know, racing is over. We had Formula One season wrap up. We had sports car racing wrap up in South Africa. Yeah, you know, we're kind of done with racing, so you know. But hey, doesn't mean I'm not going to get on there and just say something spicy for the sake of saying something spicy. So there we go.
I brought in a whole bunch of like high level energy into this, and now we're just like back down to like.
You started off. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Bright Sun Films on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Every time he starts a video, no matter like how serious or whatever it is he's doing, it's always, "What's up, guys?"
Well, I was trying to do a little more Peter McKinnon, which is, "What's up, guys? What's up?"
Perfect.
Zach's over there channeling that toddler energy.
What's up?
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know. You want to just leave me? I'm blind at this point.
Okay, Zach, just hold my hand and we'll get you through this. God. Or some...
You want to hold my hand?
No, I don't want to hold your hand. Stop that. Don't. God, if a weird, creepy hand descended from the ceiling, I'd fucking scream.
It's one of the hidden reloads from Hardline.
There it is.
Have you guys seen those?
I've seen a couple of them. God, I don't need... There it is. Yes.
Can we say the wait?
There what is?
Oh no,
What
it's ignore me.
No. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, ignore me.
Now go do the other one. Yeah, Andrew Jolly. He knows the score. He knows what's up.
So, are we going to talk about AJ? Like we've talked about AJ before. AJ, do you want to talk about more stuff?
I suppose. I have a new car now. Well, it's new to me, but I have a new source of transportation. It is not, unfortunately, a Saab. That replacement will probably come this summer when I can save up some money for it.
Yeah.
But I'll probably post some pictures eventually. I now drive a heavy Impala.
Oh,
Ooh, that is unfortunate.
It is.
um,
It's
Go
not
ahead.
bad. It's an 03. It's not bad. It's got like 200K on it, but I got it for like peanuts. Basically, I got it for less than $1,000.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that's a $500 car if I've ever heard of a $500 car.
Oh, absolutely, and it runs perfectly. The only complaint that I have about it is that it's a Chevy, but it's got the 3800 V6 in it.
That fucking boat anchor that's going to outlast us all.
Oh, absolutely. The cockroaches will be driving it after the apocalypse.
When entropy swallows the universe, it's just going to be nothingness and then a whole bunch of, like, 3800 series V6s.
Yeah. But Justin McIntyre stumbled across it and basically got it for $200, did a transmission refresh on it, and then I paid for the cost of the car plus a couple of parts and then the gas to get it over here, which came out to about $1,000 all told.
It's not too bad.
No, not bad at all.
Oh, I mean, my dad had a few Grand Prix with that 3800 V6 in there, and, well, I hated everything except when I just really mashed the throttle and I just got that one tire going real good.
They are surprisingly torquey.
Mm-hmm.
But it is an car, so it's better than walking.
Yeah, that is 1000%. Like an 03 Impala is for sure an car.
yeah, I would definitely rather early 2000 Chevy over Lamborghinis.
Yeah, man. Well, speaking of cars and compromises we have to make with ourselves, so the plan was, since my mom is unable to drive and probably will be for the foreseeable future, we are stuck with a third car. So we've got the mini minivan, my dad's Altima, which we are somehow not upside down on, which is fucking mystifying, but here we are. It was a former rental car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like it belonged to Enterprise,
Ooh.
and now it's ours.
I think it's like an old person thing, because both my grandparents have done that, where they've bought like old Hertz or Enterprise cars.
Yeah, I don't like he brought it home, and I'm like, okay.
Where do you buy those? Like, I'm a car guy. I don't know where I would go buy a used. Do you just go to Hertz and be like, sell me what you got?
So there are some places that just specialize in flipping old rental cars. Like once the fleet gets too old, they just buy them in bulk. And they like JD Buyrider was a place like that. They would just buy like some company's fleet and then go grab it and then turn around and refresh them enough and then sell them.
I mean, I'd much rather have a retired police car than an old rental car. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, but it's
body all day.
Yeah, preach to the choir. But then we've got my mom's Rogue, which I think we're upside down on, but I'm not 100% sure because I haven't seen the paperwork. Even though it's like cripplingly low miles, like to get the good terms on the lease, you have to drive like, I think it's like 8,000 miles a year or something, is like those crazy, like as advertised terms that you can get. My mom put, I think, about 4,000 miles a year on the car.
Well,
Like
your mom only drives like, what, a mile and a half to work?
it was like, yeah, like 5 miles. They even took it on some road trips, and it's still like crazy low mileage. But so the plan was I was going to sell that thing, and we were going to get the mini minivan going. But then it snowed. We got a good snow here in Salt Lake, and as those who have been to the pod basement know, in winter the hill kind of sucks in front of my house. Yeah. So I quickly realized being able to lock something in all-wheel drive is kind of nice. After I watched a Honda Odyssey struggle for about 5 minutes to get up the hill, and then get ahead of steam and almost smoke me as I am going up the hill. Yeah. So
I feel that because I'm pretty sure my truck is going to kill me this winter. I legitimately almost went out and bought like 200 pounds of sand. Like,
Man.
it's scary.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that moment was just like, I think we're just gonna throw some better wiper blades on this thing, and by better I mean ones that aren't disintegrating every time I hit the wiper. Yeah. Nothing just like watching it grow a tail every time. Just
Does it sound like the intro to that one Kendrick Lamar song?
no, actually, it does. It is not producing a sound as of yet.
That's good.
Yet. That mental image of the Odyssey struggling up a hill reminds me of when I used to work over at L3 in, I guess that would technically be Salt Lake, kind of over by the airport.
Yeah.
I used to work security there, and I worked night shift, and we had this. It was like a late '90s Ford Econoline 15-passenger van.
Shit, yeah.
But they'd taken all of the back seats out except for like the first row bench seat after the driver's seat, because they were kind of using it as like an ersatz pickup truck.
Yeah.
And I liked driving that one as opposed to the shitty little like Ford Transit that we had. It was like the really, really, really tiny little Ford Transits.
Oh, those little baby ones.
Yeah, the little tiny ones. That was like the EMT vehicle. It had all the medical equipment. But I didn't like driving it because it just sucked, and in order to unlock the doors, you had to put it in park. So I drove the Econoline van around, and because all the back seats were taken out, it had no weight over the back.
So it was perfect.
Anytime it would snow, I would just be through an empty parking lot, just like 20-mile-an-hour drifts, like big, wide ovals, just like all the way around the corners.
Hell yeah.
And actually, so we had a couple of the big like Freightliner like shuttle buses.
Oh
They're
boy.
really, really big ones with the Blue Tech diesel in them.
Yeah.
And I actually got one of those sideways, coming up the street from the airport, kind of by where the front runner train is, and then you turn left, and it takes you in front of L3 and between L3 and the airport. And I took that corner, and I was going just a little bit too fast, and so I just dumped it, and the turbo kicked in, and the back end rotated, and I was like, "Oh God!"
Oh Lord, no.
So I have that same problem in my truck. I took it up to Brighton or whatever it was a couple days ago before it was snowing to go get some experience in the snow because I haven't driven in the snow yet. And go just be a general hoonigan. And with my Subaru, I can get that thing sideways in any which way I want. Like I remember a couple of winters ago, Andrew was there actually. I set up cones like out in the ice, and I could like reverse entry. Like I could do some crazy shit with it. Like, okay, I can probably do the same thing with my truck. And the second it loses, like the back comes around, it's gone. It just rotates. I think the truck has an 80-20 weight distribution. It's really fucking scary because, like, most cars are like, okay, the back comes around, I just steer out of it, or I power out of it. The truck, it rotates, and you're just looping.
Just lock it in 4-wheel and drive it with the nose.
So
yeah, there you go.
So,
perfect.
I have a hill coming out of my apartment complex. Nothing as bad as what Mike has. And so I put it in 4-wheel drive to get to the top of the crest before you hit the road. I put it back into 2-wheel drive. My truck hates going back to 2-wheel drive. I get it back there, and I see my opening in traffic, and I gun it. And I look at my tach, and I'm doing like 35 miles an hour and not rolling. And I'm like, fuck. So I slam shift it into 4, like the 4 high has a synchro, so I can slam shift it into 4 high, pull out into traffic, but now I'm locked into 4 high, and my truck fucking hates it so bad. Like it's whining at me. Like I turn the steering wheel, it instantly recorrects and stuff like that. Oh, it's so bad.
My God.
I probably took like 1,000 miles off of tire just by doing that.
Yeah,
What's
that is excellent.
What is that, Mike?
Oh, that thing? It's it is the playlist for Slightly Civil War. So
Oh, cool. Yeah. I'll watch
Yeah,
that.
so there you go. Yes, Taylor, when I need some snow tires mounted, I will definitely hit you up. And yes, Randy, Taylor is, or Tayor is the man.
I'll tell you one.
Congratulations, Taylor. You are now Tayor.
Taylor.
Tayor.
That's his Viking name.
I need to write that down just in case Glenn kills off my character at D&D.
Taylor.
Tayor.
I did get to drive a Tesla in the snow this week.
How was that?
So I have realized something. I've never driven a car that has traction control in the snow.
Weird,
so
isn't it?
I'm not used
It's a
to
weird
that.
feeling.
So the Tesla, he has a Tesla wheels car, and it's all set up like he likes it. So it doesn't roll. It has the highest percentage for regenerative braking you can set on it. It holds the vehicle and it doesn't creep.
Okay.
But going from all of the manual cars I've driven into that thing, like it breaks so many laws in my head. Where like I'll be like on like a curb ready to come out on the street, and I'll be ready to like roll down to get more visibility.
Yeah.
So I put my foot off the brake, and it just stays there. Like it's the weirdest thing ever. But no, so back to the snow part. No, so we got to like a snowy road, and I stomped on it like getting sideways, and it goes.
Yeah, it does. Like when people talk about it being an electronic nanny, that's exactly what they mean.
Yeah, it literally pulls me back straight.
Yeah, it is through techno wizardry. It just makes sure you're pointed in the correct direction.
Which I want to make an argument that I think that's less dangerous, or I think that's more dangerous for someone like me.
I mean, yeah, you're making the same argument that a lot of people.
That sounds like the argument. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, yeah, the argument like against ABS and all these other things is just like, well, I'm used to not having it.
Yeah, because the way I look at cars is like, okay, cars that I will drive and I will own, and cars I want my mom to own and my mom to drive. They're very different categories. But like, yeah, like if that Tesla started getting sideways and coming down a hill, I'd want to be able to save it. But now when I go to throttle out, it just.
Yeah. Now you're having to deal with the like. Did the engineer get the numbers right?
Did the engineers get the number right? Is the kombucha drinking asshole in Silicon Valley program it right?
Like
it.
Go ahead.
It's probably some neck bearded vegan over in California. He lives in a studio with 3 other guys so they can afford the rent. He's been overworked. He's working double overtime so he can afford his avocado toast. All right, he's just trying to file his program so he can go home at the end of the day before the sun goes down. And he's just going 1 to 3. We'll call it a 2. Nobody's actually going to try and make this thing rotate. We'll set it at 0.
His only driving experience prior to working for Tesla.
Yeah.
Is a first or a second generation Prius. Where the fuck is my mouse?
He fired off a real spicy tweet that Elon liked,
and
that's how he got the job.
He's getting back from his union mandated marijuana break.
No union mandated. Elon has come down very hard on the side of you don't need worker protections. I know what's best. Now get back in the acid mines.
Well, guys, the man, the myth, the legend has arrived.
The adult.
The beard.
From Hustle Energy.
I will take the beard. I will not take the adult.
Well,
I just gave the adult to you. Like out of the 3 of us.
I think AJ's the most adulting of us.
Okay, no, Trent. The argument I would make for you is that you're not an adult. You're like, you're an underpaid caregiver.
I can get on board with that.
Yeah, you're a stressed out teenager that we're paying $2 an hour to make sure the kids don't like stick forks in the outlets, but we gave you full freezer privileges, so.
And he's got the TV, the remote without the parental control on it.
There it is.
The remote without the parental controls. You're right.
Yep. Yeah, and like if you really want to like throw my adulthood into doubt, I'm about to ask Taylor, like, hey man, if you could be some sort of like mythical race, what would you be? Because I have some ideas for when I inevitably have to roll up Tayor. So
Well, Trent, do you have any fun stories for us? We're talking about driving in the snow.
No, I have avoided the snow today, not by choice. Just work from home, and the packages I thought I was going to have to ship today, I didn't. So there's
okay
that.
then.
So no fun stories as of this point this winter.
Taylor, I'm only half kidding. If you've got any ideas, like, but, well, that's good. People don't understand how to drive, period. And then once it gets slightly damp, just out the window.
Oh, okay. The other story I have about my truck almost murdering me and how it's going to murder me is that same drive up the canyon to go do experimentations with it in the snow. Going up the canyon, there was like a little spot to pass, and it was a little damp. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like this guy's going like 5 under on this downshift and pass it. I downshift a second and stomp on it. And I just watched the tack rise, or I watched the tack and speedo rise, but I don't go any faster. It fucking was one wheel peeling at like 45 miles an hour, going up the canyon trying to pass this guy. And I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna fucking kill me. So if you see a white Tacoma bent around a pole, it's probably me.
Nice.
Well, there's awkward silence in the video call as people figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, so I put in the private chat, but I don't know if you've seen it, Zach. I'm relinquishing control. You started this, so you're gonna land this thing.
Oh, I'm fucking landing this thing?
Yeah,
Crashing
he's
is
gonna
a
go,
form
when
of
it comes
landing.
time.
he's gonna go get some pretzels from the rear galley. Take it off autopilot and let's see what you got.
Am I in charge of running like the actual show or just like the production side? Because I don't know what we're doing next. Are we doing topics?
I mean, we don't have really topics. That was kind of the conceit of the new show.
No, the fate topics. Like, excuse me.
I mean, I don't.
I had to throw that one in there. Sorry, Zach. I'll stop now.
Awkward topic.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
That's Kit, right?
That's Kit.
That's Kit.
Oh yeah.
So, are we wanting to do a debate? Just sit and chit chat? What is the group fulfilling?
I'm down to just talk.
I can try and think up more crazy stories of my vehicular escapades.
At this point, we're going to call Andrew back in and get David here. That's going to be another removed episode.
Man, I don't know what the deal is, but for whatever reason, I've just found myself watching a bunch of like dash cam compilations.
Oh, I miss those.
But not like the good Russian ones, you know, where like shenaniganry happens left and right. But like, there's this one YouTube channel called like Mega Drive. What?
He's been holding that for like 2 minutes.
I was just gonna let him go.
You had to draw attention to it. I was
just gonna let him just see how long he could keep that going.
I want to watch him laugh and have it come out his nose.
Well,
Chug,
the night's still young.
Chug.
Yeah, there's this one called like Mega Driving School, and really it just seems like a bunch of people who, like, a third of them are actually like warranted in having the dash cam and like posting the video because somebody ran a red light and hit them or somebody cut them off super close. But then the other 2/3, it's just like, oh well, because of where the camera is, it was way closer than it looks like on film, and it's like the person's half a block away and made a perfectly legal lane change. And it's just like, wait, what? How is that? How are you in fear of your life of somebody signaling and then moving over?
Yeah, at least they signaled.
Yeah.
I'm on TikTok, and their algorithm like shows you what you've been watching the most. You get to see more of it, and it's been giving me a lot of like GoPro footage, like helmet GoPro footage of like people like merciful crashes. I end up just feeling really mad at the end of it, like overly aggressively angry about it. Be like, that guy is an asshole. You should punch his window, break his fucking mirror. It probably isn't healthy, but
whatever. I mean, sometimes you just got to get real, like, angry and, you know, with something you saw on the internet, because that's how the internet keeps going. All right, Taylor wants us to talk about something, not him being a centaur, because that is what he threw out. So, there we go. Taylor the centaur. Thoughts on drifting something with a flappy paddle gearbox? So, as someone who's done far more driving in a digital space where that is how I've had to shift gears and everything, I am perfectly okay with the idea. Like, sign me up for like an M2 or an M3 or an M4 with the flappy paddles, and you know, I'll go get rowdy. The one thing is you can't clutch kick or anything. Although, as we did learn from Aaron last week, there are people who are doing specialty transmission tunes to kind of give you that clutch kick feel for certain cars. So,
well, in like an E-gear car or an F1 style transmission, you theoretically can. The car doesn't like it.
No, if you're driving a car with an F1 transmission, it's already hating life, period.
$3,000, click. Why is it not doing anything? Why did it turn off? But no, that's the thing. So I've only driven 2 cars with relatively realistic flappy paddles, which is a Maserati with a F1 transmission, and then a SMG S4 or DSG S4, whatever the fuck it is. And they're fucking fun. Like I still like rowing my own gears, but like it's a different level of fun. So I'm in support.
The only complaint. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
The only complaint I can foresee having with drifting a flappy paddle car is it would have to be something with the paddles like on the steering column that are stationary and not the ones that are on like the back of the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Because like you already have enough trouble like going into a corner and then chasing the paddle around, and now the paddle that you thought was one side is now the other side. And then you're throwing it into a corner and the steering wheel's spinning and you're trying to catch that paddle that when you wanted and it's somewhere else. Like that would be an absolute nightmare. Like best way to do it was be the one with the true flappy paddles.
I have an argument against that actually. Because both the Maserati has them fixed onto the steering column and they stay put, and the S4 has them on the steering wheel. And I actually prefer them on the steering wheel. Like up until that point, I never thought I would. But there's something way funner about like I don't know how to describe it, but like you're getting on a highway on ramp, so you're not turning, but you just bah 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 bah. You're not having to reach as far to grab the. I feel like Trent's gonna slap me. Why are you getting so mad at me, Trent?
Because all your arguments are pointless when you're sitting there going like this and like this. Like, you don't know where those paddles are going to be if they're on the steering wheel. Like,
but are you really sliding your S4 around that you need to...
We're talking about drifting. We're talking about drifting.
Is this
drifting with flappy paddles, yeah.
Yeah.
Where
are we? The whole point was drifting with flappy paddles.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Well, that was the entirety of the argument is drifting, so it's like, well, yeah, of course, for driving daily, sure,
everything I've said, disregard.
And I mean, even driving daily, if you've got like one of those 270 on ramps that like, where it does the clover all the way around, you've got to turn the steering wheel. This isn't an F1 car where this is off, opposite lock is left to right, maybe 20 degrees. Yeah, like you've got to get that thing all the way around to get in the corner. So you even have to do
I like Kit's argument.
I like Kit's comment. The crossover to keep it in gear,
do it.
Or you have to like do the hand over hand dealio. There and yeah.
So
big stock all the way.
The steering ratio tightens when you get going faster.
Yeah, but how many city cars have a steering ratio that tight? And I mean, if you're driving a drift car, you've got an even longer steering box because the angle on some of those cars is like fucking. They're almost in line with each other, like trying to get lock to lock 5 turns and try to chase the paddles around. You're gonna have that's a nightmare in and of itself.
No, and I totally agree now. Like now that we're discussing drifting only, I would want them fixed 100%. I would want them fixed so I knew where they were. I'd want big, tall ones that reach up from top to bottom. So at any point on the arc, I can click it from either up on top or down bottom, and it knows one of them where they work. And like with the F1 or the F1 style, I'm pretty sure you can do the E-gears though too, where you can.
Oh, the chat. Oh, Kit. Oh, Taylor.
I can't see the chat. What are they saying?
Kit, unless you're welding 2 dildos on each side, you ain't gonna catch them mid-drift. Taylor, what type of dildo are you using that's weldable?
Hey, different strokes.
Exactly. I kind of want to know, Kit. I'm curious.
But what I was saying is like the F1 style, you can clutch kick it. You can rev up and drop it into a gear. Getting it back into neutral is a lot harder. You have to. I think it's a full stop with both pulled in.
Wait,
but you can't dump it.
Don't F1 cars have a hand clutch?
No, I'm talking about like the Ferrari Maserati style F1 transmission.
That
it's the F1 style, and then the Lamborghini has the R8 has the E gear, or sorry, Tiptronic if it's an R8.
Yeah,
I mean, you're better off just hooking a fake e-brake with a solenoid, or a e-brake with a temporary button that operates a solenoid on the transmission.
Well, I like the idea of that being in place of an actual e-brake. Is hitting the e-brake button on your car? But just hitting a button.
It's just complicated levers just to poke a button.
Boop, e-brake. Boop. I actually want to pulse it so I could like really pulse the e-brake. Yeah, wow.
Just really be super shitty about the whole thing. Just, man, you need to commit to that thing. I got it. No, that's
a good handbrake turn.
God,
laser hot for James May.
That would not be a well executed handbrake turn. I would pull you out of the car and slap you.
What you need to just do is have, because you know how automatic cars have the extra long or extra wide brake pedal. Just on one side of the brake pedal, you have like drill out a little hole and put a pressure switch. So if you push on one side, it's the regular brakes, but if you push on the other side, it's the switch for the e-brake.
I mean, no. AJ, that's brilliant. Kit, my God in heaven.
I am not clicking on that. Trent, that's up to you. No, but what we could do is we could even go further back to like some like the 50s and 60s cars where they have the floor-mounted flash to pass button.
Oh yeah,
yes. Like that with your e-brake. Instead of having like the Ford style like retracting e-brake pedals, you have 4 pedals. It's just a button.
I actually did drift a truck in the snow with one of those.
No.
Yeah. So this kid Logan Finlinson that I went to high school with had this big square body Chevy, and it was one of the ones where like it was all-time 4-wheel drive, like you couldn't take it out of 4-wheel drive.
Okay.
So we were in a church parking lot one night and it was snowing, and he was like, "Let's go do donuts," and I was like, "All right." So we're in this truck with a bench seat, and he's just doing like these really wide turns, and I didn't have a license at the time, but I'm like, "Hey, let me try it," and he's like, "All right, but if you wreck my truck, I'm going to kill you." So in order to get it to swing around to rotate, I was gassing it with my right foot, and then I was like doing this weird like grab the steering wheel with my right hand, and then I was holding the e-brake and then pushing the brake with my left foot.
Oh, you said that twice. Yeah, I tried doing that with I had a Ford Ranger. I literally let you fucking. What's your?
All right, Trent, all the room in the world to make whatever fucking brilliant point you've got on deck.
All right,
I
Trent,
don't.
you've got
I'm not
30
saying,
seconds. Go.
I'm not saying I have a brilliant point. I'm just trying a new thing. Like
You want to
Zach
fucking
just-
talk? Go.
Zach just talks and talks and talks. So I'm just
Because you
wondering,
literally gave me the show with no, like, you said the show is yours. I'm like, well, fucking sitting here in fucking silence, literally, I thought those our thumbs up our ass, and I was like, maybe I'll make this kind of fun and be hyper excited. And
He's just trying something. He's just seeing what's out there for him.
We're
You
just
know.
throwing shit at the wall to see if it sticks.
Yep. There it is. Yeah, there you go, Kit.
too, I'm
Awkward
sorry.
silence is the best topic once again. So, I mean, I could just rotate.
I'm gonna start talking, and then Zach's gonna just run right over the top of me. So, I was just trying something new. It was just a new theory, new thing. I was just gonna see if I let Zach get it out, then we could talk. But no. Oh, hold up. Go ahead.
I feel like we have some pent-up anger that we need to discuss.
No.
Do we need to air some grievances on live podcast?
No.
I will take whatever you need to tell me. I will not be offended, or have I hurt you in some way?
No, this is just proving my point.
I feel like we need to apologize for AJ. To AJ.
I'm not apologizing to AJ for shit. He knew exactly what he was getting into.
I mean, I signed the waiver and I jumped on the boat. It's not my fault it sank.
Nope. Turns out the '83 Chevette will not hold water. Will not hold water. So here we are.
No, but a 66 bug will.
That's true.
Ted Kennedy would have been president if he was driving a Volkswagen.
All
If
right.
he'd have just gotten a sedan instead of the drop top, he would have been fine.
So
Oh well.
my contribution to this is what we're missing out on. All of this is electronics. It was briefly mentioned on cost, but those transmissions are so electronically controlled that a little fuse or something can ruin your whole day. So I think the manual transmission and drifting needs to stick around for the fact that it's easy to work on, it's mechanical, you can figure those things out. And then also the electronic side has a downside in that it won't hold gears. It will, it has nannies built into it that you're going to have to program out of it or something that keep it from holding a gear. And you want it to do what you want it to do. And the electronics may keep you from doing that. And sorry, go on.
Yeah, I mean, all of these things, like speed limiters and all these other things, like those were also problems when we went to more computer controlled things, and we have figured them the hell out. So
Yeah.
it's only a matter of time before it's going to be the four of us, old crusty, still shitting on Zach. But when we're just like, well, we remember back in our day, you had a third pedal. And boy, howdy. If you were in a low-powered hunk of shit like a Corolla, you just threw a brick on the gas and you just two-pedaling it with the clutch and the brake. Because that's how you have to drive one of those damn things.
So I want to clarify my argument slightly.
I'd actually like to talk about what Kit just said.
Oh,
You go ahead. I will shut up.
yeah.
Oh, he said everybody just needs to get sequential transmissions, and I think that's a great idea because there's a company in Australia who makes a bolt-on sequential adapter for regular H-pattern transmissions.
Yeah, there's a handful of support versions. The T5 is one of them, or the T56 is one of them.
Yeah, but it's not like you have to put a whole new transmission to make it sequential. All you do is drop in this adapter on top of your H pattern, and you can crank it away and have a full sequential. I think that's bitchin'.
Which
That's
I
pretty
think that would
is it?
absolutely.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Go Very good.
It's not the same internal sequential because sequential transmissions are designed so vastly different than a shift fork style with they're designed differently, but it gives the same feel, which I think is cool.
It's the same process. Yeah, it's you're cranking it forward or cranking it backward to get that sequential
You don't have some of the same speed and benefits that you get with the suspension, but you get the feeling, which is good enough for most hot boys.
Yeah.
But so the argument I wanted to make a second ago, which you brought that was, I'm not trying to say automatics and shift, or what was the exact question? It was shift paddles. Is that what the exact question was? The shift paddles?
Flappy paddle gearbox.
Yeah, there it is. I don't think that's going to replace anything. I don't think in 10 years we're going to see all drift cars with automatic style transmissions or front pedal transmissions. But I think there is some fun to be had with them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it's like with the way everything is going, like more enthusiast cars, like they're being offered with either a flappy paddle or a row your own. And even with enthusiasts, most of those enthusiast cars are being sold to people who fancy themselves enthusiasts. They may enjoy driving, but they either never learned or just don't want to row their own. So they're picking up the flappy paddle option. So on that secondhand market, the second, third owner, i.e. the idiots who are going to slam it into a wall sideways, us, exactly, it's gonna still be a process to find out a manual transmission version, or you're gonna have to jump through all the hoops to put a manual in there. Or, we could just let the aftermarket do what it seemingly tends to do, and it's figure out these problems that come up with tuning things out, being able to hold gears longer, beefier electronic components that you can swap on or have somebody else throw on for you, so you don't have to worry about shooting a fuse or shooting a solenoid out the side of your transmission when you're trying to get real rowdy with it.
Just start pulling fuses out.
I fix all problems.
Pull fuses out and wrap a paperclip around and stick it back in there.
Yeah. For just jabbing pennies in there.
Oh, no, it was all about, I think it was the E36, to turn off traction control, you just popped open the fuse box in the glove compartment and just yanked a fuse, and that was it. And away you go. Suddenly everything the BMW engineers did went out the window.
And on the subject of automatic transmissions and their vast amount of technology, I would very much, having spent the last 5 months driving a work van with a Nissan CVT, I'm going to find the guy who invented the CVT system, and I'm going to hang him with a CVT belt. Automatic transmissions would have so much more place in this world if the CVT didn't exist. Just make it a manual transmission that can shift itself and leave it at that.
Okay,
I don't want any of the planetary gear bullshit. Just no CVT belt, variable trans, whatever. Just a manual transmission. Just better yet, have a sequential style transmission where it's got the little rotator with the gear fork positions, but just have that on a solenoid that's controlled by the transmission. No. I'm not even saying like a crank one. Just like put it in drive. You put it in drive, and there's a little little motor that turns the crank for you. And no more of this CVT bullshit.
So that's basically what the F1 style transmission does.
Yeah. So Andrew, there actually was a CVT developed. I believe Williams tried to make a CVT work in an F1 car, and it did kind of sort of work, but not as well as the currently available
if I remember the story correctly, it was belt failure. They were having issues designing, because this was late 80s, early 90s, right?
Yeah, this was this was peak Williams, just pushing the envelope of what technology can do to win you a championship.
Yeah, I think the issue was basically belt technology. There wasn't a substance that could withstand 12 grand. Just woo.
Yeah, it was the idea was there, the math checked out, but it was just they were limited by available materials.
So I do want to bring up, there is a soft spot for CVTs in my heart. Very small soft spot.
No.
Okay.
No.
Where are you going with this, kid?
There's a place in hell for the guy that created the CVT.
There we go. I'll fix that issue. My roommate has a Nissan Pathfinder with a CVT, so it's the VQ, which is like the fucking worst engine ever. The worst version. But that car fucking pulls. You get on the on-ramp, it hits red line, and it just boogies.
I will say this.
AJ,
I have yet to find a CVT that I would say I would rather have over a conventional like automatic.
Oh,
but the Subaru CVT, like
Ascent?
I mean, just like any CVT that you can get in a Subaru. Like my brother had one in his Impreza.
Yeah.
His fiance had one in her Crosstrek or whatever. It just like it worked, and it worked very well. And I know, like, yeah, like it's not great, but I mean, it was not compared to the CVTs and the Nissans that I get to drive. Ooh, Lord Jesus Christ, that Subaru might as well be like a gift from God Himself, just handing it to me, saying, like, here, have something that doesn't make you want to kill yourself.
And I think the first time someone has ever said Subaru had a gift from the gods was a Subaru. That's the first time that sentence has ever been said.
Listen, I mean,
I think a lot of people have said it. They're just not car people.
listen, we
A
all
lot of
Fred,
people
you
have
remember
said it.
snow
This all
drifting in the
happened before
parking
the-
lot?
90s.
Oh, come on.
Okay, yes, servicing a Subaru is a gift from God.
Especially on 70 series tires.
Oh, yeah.
Just finding every curb.
Hit the curb and boom, bounce right back.
Yep. Don't take that line.
I-
Yeeting our giant Scandinavian friend into a snowbank. Yeah, I mean, listen,
Basically,
he's not wrong.
he's not wrong. No,
He is not wrong.
The
Okay, so-
CVT in my Nissan work van is so bad that the
How bad
automatic
is
in the Impala is a breath of fresh air.
Wow. Oh yeah, Trent. I don't know if you heard, but AJ got himself a couple $100 Impala. That is his new daily.
I am so sorry.
It is an car, and I got it for less than $1,000, so I can't really complain.
Mm-mm.
What year?
It's an 03. It's got the 3800 Series V6 in it.
It's basically one of my dad's old Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Does it have
I mean,
one seat heater?
So what?
Does it have one seat heater like the Grand Prix did?
No, it doesn't have any seat heaters.
Well, there you. That's the. You either need 2 or 0. There should be no in between.
There should be no odd number.
Yet Pontiac offered 1.
Hey, that was something that Hyundai did. They used to offer ventilated seats only on, or ventilated seat only on the driver's side, not the passenger.
Why would you ever offer just 1?
Well, for me, with my load gas, I'm the only person who's in my truck 99% of the time.
Oh yeah, but at the same time, it's just like how much more expensive would it have been to just
To put
Either-
one more
Probably
in.
would have cost $50.
I'm sure you
$100.
could have made that up with the
It's
undercoating.
more than pennies, but still.
Yeah. I mean, but not like we're not talking about some like make or break, like, well, I'm sorry, children. We're not updating the Veloster. Or whatever.
After Disneyland this year,
The Veloster still gives my OCD a complex.
No, it was I forget their naming convention now. It was the Genesis before Genesis was a brand. It was the Hyundai Genesis. That's where they had the one ventilated seat.
The
On
Hyundai
your-
Phil Collins.
On you, Peter Gabriel dressed as a potted plant. That's where I go with Genesis. Thank you. Yeah, no, all I could think of is like when it was only offered on like one seat is just like the Simpsons thing. Sir, 6 cinder blocks were stolen. We can't finish the hospital. I'll tell the children.
There was a blog post thing before it was that, but it was like 6 symbols for stolen. Well, and we ordered 3,000 extras. We'll be fine.
So the seat heating one, that one is more ridiculous because that is like an extra $1. I mean, with the ventilated seats, you have to have a fan and all this through the seat. Like,
Yeah, like that.
the heated seat, it's just an element that's costs like $1 to the manufacturer to put in there, and maybe another 50 cents for a button.
Yes, AJ.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I also bring to the point that how much of a slap in the face that is from the automotive manufacturer? Because it's like, yeah, you've got a passenger seat, but you're not going to use it because you don't have any friends. Yeah.
It's just GM telling me to fuck my lonely ass. Like, fuck off, buddy.
Yeah, you're the only one going to be in this car, so we might as well heat the only seat you're actually going to use.
It would have been
lonely
even
fuck.
It would have been even better if they put the seat heater in the passenger seat. It's just like, we know exactly what you're doing. Your sad, lonely ass is just got to go get dinner for one, and you need to keep it warm on the drive home because you're too cheap to pay for delivery.
Hey, that is one of the great life hacks is to keep your food warm with the seat heater.
You're talking to a man who spun that off into a profession. Remember with the Subaru with the heated seats, delivering pizzas? Oh yeah. Kept that shit nice and warm.
Hot and ready.
Uh,
I feel personally attacked by your statement, though.
which one? There was a lot of offense to be taken.
Mostly the empty passenger seat.
Damn. Even GM, nobody wants to ride with you.
It's totally as fuck when you have the passenger vent just permanently closed, and someone gets in the car and you hear them like creak it open and all the dust blows out of it.
Yeah. That's why if I have to go pick up the girlfriend, I make sure to open the vents first thing and just give them a good old blow. Just
my truck I bought from Ian Lacey, as we know. Ian Lacey has left me a couple treats in there. I think he used to smoke in it.
oh yeah, dude, man's just always putting them down.
So like once in a blue moon, I'll get like a little sniff of it. I'm like, what the fuck is that smell? Oh, it's Marlboro Reds.
Mm-hmm. Nothing but the best.
And the fact I know what Marlboro Reds smell like, it means I have an issue.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Not really.
Andrew,
Wow.
that's not something I think you would want to openly admit.
I mean, that's something he is admitting, and he's also admitting that it wasn't bad. So
Bold
Zach,
move. Let's see if it pays off.
What was that?
let's say if it's so bad that you know what a Marlboro Red smells like from secondhand, what does that say about me having smoked them?
Oh, I don't give a shit. I just worked with a cranky ass old welder dude for like a year and a half. He smoked only Marlboro Reds long cut.
Does he light them off of his welding torch?
several times. The dude was also missing a fucking leg. So like, you imagine the imagery, like the whole like leather get up, the welding mask up, and he will like turn the oxygen over to his flame will be like 1.5 long. Ooh.
Yeah, he doesn't have one of the sparkers. He's just lighting the end of the butane torch or the acetylene torch with his lit cigar.
I never saw that, but it wouldn't put it past him.
he's that OSHA poster. He's cracking an arc on his like fucking welding tank. Been doing this for years. Is that why they call you Lefty? Nah. Call me Lefty because I don't get to drive the forklift no more.
He's the guy who has a cup of gas on his table. He puts the cigarettes in, and we're just like, you should be. He goes, gas is only explosive, and you can't light it on fire.
Oh, that's actually something really fun that you can do with jet fuel.
Really, like JP or something?
Yeah, JP8 is basically like really, really, really pure diesel.
Uh-huh.
And it burns by compression, doesn't burn by ignition. So you can take a solo cup of JP8, which is why I think it's so funny that people refer to something really explosive as jet fuel, because it's really actually not that explosive. But
No.
you can. We've done this to new kids who get to the squadron. Is you'll go crack a line and get a solo cup full of JP8, drop a lit match into it, and they'll like freak out, like jump behind shit and lose their mind, and then does nothing, makes the match go out.
This is such a random ass tangent, but you were talking about military stuff, and like we had a scout leader who was an Apache pilot for forever, and he, being 14 years old, hearing stories about Apache pilot, sounds like the coolest motherfucker you've ever met. But on a scout camp, he brought his like a F-450, like giant dually, whatever. And while we were all swimming in the lake, he filled up a yellow Gatorade bottle full of diesel. And so we came back to the campfire, and it was like the yellow, like small, like you pound one of these after your soccer match, and you cut a little hole, and he goes, "Yeah, you learned this in the military. Yellow Gatorade is flammable." And he has the 13-minute convinced as he's pouring yellow Gatorade into the campfire, and we're all, "Oh my god, yellow Gatorade's flammable! Holy fuck!"
Cut to Zach just throwing like random bottles of Gatorade into open flames and see what's gonna happen.
Why isn't it working?
It's live to.
Oh, by the way, if you ever need to weld anything and you're in a pinch, if you've got a Zippo lighter and a can of Axe, you can sweat weld with that.
No, really?
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh, are you gonna do it for us? On-air demonstration? Oh, I thought you were going to go to an on-air demonstration.
I know, I had to plug in my phone is dying. But yeah, we're out camping in California, and we had the exhaust header fall off my buddy's truck, and we couldn't find the bolts because it was like 2 a.m. and dark as shit. So he just like held the exhaust against, he held the flanges together, and I'm under there with a stick of fucking, whatchamacallit, the solder, a fucking can of Axe.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
Got us home.
Hey man, necessity is the mother of invention.
Axe the manly way to weld.
Axe, the way bros weld.
Yeah.
Pros. And scare away girls.
Scare away any decent member of society.
Yeah.
You smell like a locker room.
If I've picked up on anything in this podcast, and I can't say that I have, but if I have, it's that we're starting a spec racing series using only CVTs, and the only way we can do repairs is with Axe welding, and you have to shift your CVT with a dildo. Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you figured it out.
All right. Glad you're finally on the same page with us, Trent.
Yep. Congratulations. There you go. You're picking everything up that we're putting down.
All right. Well, in that case,
I think I know what we're doing for Twitch Thursday.
Yeah.
Figure out what cars we can get with a CVT, and then I'm coming up with the championship, and there we go.
I'm not adding Trent back, by the way. He left by his own volition.
Okay.
It's up to him.
All right.
Oh, look, there he is. He returned on his own volition, too.
we can go back to doing this.
There you go. We'll just let him. Okay. Well, whatever. So, no, I totally think we're going to do that for Twitch Thursday. I'm going to figure out, like, what shitbox cars we can get. They are staying completely stock. And then I'm coming up with, like, 5 or 6 tracks that I think will be the most torturous.
I'm so down for this.
Mount Panorama is happening.
Oh, absolutely. Mount Panorama is like needs to be like the signature track of Twitch Thursday.
For our shitbox racing. We're just having to shift down into first to climb the hill and to struggle to climb the hill.
Neck and neck up the hill, bouncing it off the rev limiter.
Can't throw it into second because it's too much. It's just too much. Oh man! All right, I'm gonna work on that. The triumphant return of Twitch Thursday is happening. I've finally recovered enough from Extra Life. I'm willing to get back on the internet.
Yeah, you're getting back in the saddle.
Yep. There we go.
You get back on that horse, Mike.
I'm dragging you with me.
Oh, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
And frankly, who wasn't watching, I won. Just
Oh,
Yeah, it was the fucking greatest game of chicken ever. Just
really
Zach
wasn't,
drinking.
it
Zach
doesn't matter.
drinking beer that smells like weed. Trent
so does it
gently
smell like-
slipping. Stella?
Yeah.
Yeah, it smells like the cheap dirt weed you get in junior high.
I never smoked dirt weed, so I don't know.
Well, then you never lived. All right.
Neither have I.
Or you didn't have parents who were ex-narco cops.
Hey, man. Whatever. I'm just saying some of us lived a certain kind of life. You know?
I'm just imagining edgy Mike at the skate park trying to just. There's just so much imagery right now, Mike.
Oh. The skate park is where I encountered all of the fun things that just burned for hours. Dirt weed, American spirits, anybody's hand-rolled cigarette.
Oh.
Oh.
I have done those.
It's
They are
not
not
fun.
good.
Oh, just burns for hours.
It hurts for hours.
When you smoke your last cigarette and it's 3 days till payday, and the weird guy from the next quadrant over is like, "Hey, you want one of my hand rolls?" And you're like, "Man, I'll take it."
God. Somebody hands you something like, God damn, this is the fattest fucking joint I've ever seen. Oh no, it's only the third ever hand-rolled cigarette I've ever done. It'll be a good time, though.
I like how Trent and I could actually like have like a discussion with this. Like, I don't think Trent either and I have ever experienced that in our life. I'm not quite as straight cut as Trent is, but
You never lived that dirtbag life like me and AJ have, apparently.
asking fucking skate bums to give me hand-rolled cigarettes, and
I never asked. I was just offered. It would have been rude to turn down Chase.
because you were a cool kid, I wasn't. I had to ask. Nothing was offered to me.
Ooh, cool is a relative term.
Yeah, about the hardest thing I've ever drank is hustle-focused energy. Focus that you need throughout your workday.
There it is. Man.
Come on, keep it going. Keep it going.
And
Sponsored by
there's
my
Trent
dad.
No, stop this. There we go. Thanks.
and there's Trent with the pitch.
There it is. I love it.
If you read one, I will. I think I can ban you too. Or I can't ban.
Don't ban him, but this is just great. Well, Taylor, I'm sorry it wasn't as exhilarating as you wanted it to be, but hey, Twitch Thursday is going to be a fucking riot. Let me tell you.
Talking about it was exhilarating as a legit U-turn. It was Zach and I's competition.
Jesus.
If
I
that was
mean,
exhilarating.
I just kind of ignored you guys
It was
while that
as
happened.
exhilarating as a
Legal U-turn. Oh boy. All right. Well,
Shit, that's an hour. Fuck.
Oh shit! YouTube actually asked me if I'm still watching.
What? I've never seen that before.
I just put on Ryan Celsius and then it just like video paused. Are you still watching? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. Did I tell you to stop?
It's in Netflix.
Did I fucking YouTube? I don't need Google. I don't need your bullshit concern. I know you only value me for the occasional time I do one of your dumbass surveys, and I'm forced to watch the ever-growing random commercials you put on top of every fucking video.
I'm sure AJ was the only one who noticed anything because you two hooligans don't wake up at a reasonable hour, especially Zach. But I was up early this morning to see that Google was down, like all of their
Yeah.
servers.
I would have looked
Yeah,
at like
it fucked
10:30.
up our entire workday this morning.
I looked at like 10:30 this morning. I was like, "What are all these fucking memes about?"
I woke up at 6, and by the time I got to work at 8, everything was fine.
Yeah.
But I did see on Gizmodo that it was gone and it was down.
Well, I was trying to make sure that my podcast had uploaded at 6 like it was supposed to because I was having some issues with it. And, I'm up already at that point anyway, but YouTube wasn't working. And I'm like, all right, well, why haven't I gotten any emails in a while? And tried to send an email. It's not working because it runs through Google Apps and all that crap. And
Time to fire up that Hotmail account from 98, baby.
I mean, I've still got a Hotmail account.
I still have a Hotmail account too. It's pretty much spam, but my Amazon account runs through it. So like, if I want
I do all my
the status
subscriptions
of
through it.
Amazon, I have to go there.
There's always that one. There's always that one account that you just can't get rid of.
I mean, that's what I run all my subscriptions through.
Yeah,
That's smart.
man. There you
Yeah,
go.
That's hotline part about.
But yeah, so went to work this morning, and all of our like work order stuff and everything we do for like inventory and parts all runs through our Gmail.
Oh
And
boy.
we were dead in the water for about an hour and a half. It was horrible. My dispatcher's just sitting in the chair with like a mad twitch in his eye, like, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, dude, that was like a week or two ago at work. The phones went down. Well, kind of, sort of. The phones went down. Some people, for whatever reason, could still get calls, but it wasn't the people who, like, it wasn't me or my other coworkers who could actually do something. So they had to just deal with irate customers. And then finally, whoever was working on the power just killed the power, and we sat there for like an hour in the dark before they finally said, go home.
This is fine.
When I worked at K1, we lost power, and that was very odd. It's like at an electric go-kart track with no power.
Oh boy.
Dude.
Well. Alrighty. Well, I think that's a good enough line to leave on. Andrew, I think that's perfect. Zach's just over here gonna ban himself. There we go.
Zach's hitting himself with a band hammer.
Yep.
So, is this going to be another one where episode 5 never lives to see the day?
I think it was all right.
I thought that was nice. It was a nice
Yeah.
episode. It was like a.
Photos?
I missed the first 20 minutes, so
It was
I don't know.
fine.
You didn't
Okay.
miss fun.
No, I mean, you missed me saying that once entropy swallows the universe, it's going to be nothing but absolutely nothing in the 3800 Series V6 from GM. That's all that's going to be left.
I came out swinging hard right off the gate. And
That is true, and I did mention that this podcast is now available in audio format,
As he did.
and people need to go like, rate, review, and subscribe because all of those things help us gain heat, which means more people are going to check us out, and which means we can do more fun things, like, you know, I don't know,
Things.
piss off Taylor.
Think about all the fun things we could be doing.
Yeah, all the fun stuff.
Oh, I need everyone to go check out. Oh, can I like completely tangent for like 3 fucking seconds, Mike? It's about you.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm on TikTok. I don't know why I keep bringing this up. It fucking sucks. But I saw a video.
Uh-huh.
It was about a mark.
I gave him 3 seconds.
I mean, you gave him 3 seconds and he attempted to talk about TikTok.
Okay, it was this girl in a Mark 5 Supra, and it was, is that a Supra? She goes, no, it's a Z4. I take credit for that. Because up until that point, the entire "is that a Supra" joke ended at "is that a Supra?" That's it.
Well, there you go.
You and I,
We did
had
it.
that.
We did it. We contributed to the culture. Did you hear that, Trent? Cam has contributed to the culture. We finally fucking did it.
It was almost at 200,000 views.
Here we go.
We're getting close, Trent. You're going to start paying me out here in a minute.
Nobody's getting paid. Are you kidding me? This is not happening.
No, I have text evidence from Trent saying that he would pay me.
What did I say? What did I say I would pay you? I remember the conversation. I just don't remember.
It wasn't a lot. But it was nothing.
He wasn't going to pay you a lot, or the barrier to payment was pretty low.
Okay, if you make it to 500,000 views, I will pay you $5, and for $1 per 100,000 views afterwards.
Wow. All right.
That's something. Hey, he's 193,000 views. So if he gets to 500,000, there's $5.
$5.
For each 100,000.
What I will ask for, instead of buying or just giving me fellows cash, I would like you to buy the Cam group. So us, maybe not AJ because you don't live reasonably close. A $5 pizza that we can all share.
Hey, there's DoorDash. I can send him a $5 pizza and
But that'd be $10.
I mean, Little
$12
Caesars has,
send it to
Little
him.
Caesars has an app now.
Yeah, that's true.
See, what you don't know, Zach, is he's actually going to pay you in Whose Line Is It Anyway points.
Congratulations, Zach. You get 300 million points.
Also, also Taylor. Not Tyler Taylor. Fuck off that one. I will do the gambler again.
I mean, there are a lot of things kind of on the deck for fun stuff to do. Taylor, there's quite a bit.
And regards to this comment, Andrew, we're not getting $1,000 for $500,000 or 500,000 views on YouTube.
No.
First of all, it's not even monetized, so I mean, there's that. But then,
Thank you, gross indifference, when I decided to make an edit.
yeah, and then also, I mean, it's even if it was monetized, it wouldn't be $1,000 for 500,000 views. Like you have to start racking up millions to start getting money, and then it'll compound.
Yeah, we'd be at like $28 at this point.
Damn. All right, let us land this thing.
Thanks, Kit.
Yep. That's another good line to leave on. Alrighty, folks. Thank you for joining us on Cam Shenanigans episode. Is this the 5th one? I lost count.
It says 5 in the corner.
It is 5.
Okay, 5. Cam Shenanigans episode 5. Thank you, AJ, for yet again being our solid 6th man of the year. We appreciate
absolutely.
it. Always appreciate having you. Thank you.
Jay, you want to take over my spot?
Sure.
Okay, there we go. Nope. Trent yet again leaving the podcast. A tradition unlike any other.
I feel vaguely responsible this time, though.
I think you should feel mostly responsible.
Cool. I'll take some pride in that.
Thank you, Kit. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Randy, who was here for a second and gave us Tayor, because that was amazing.
Tayor the Centaur.
Yep, Tayor the Centaur. Got to figure out some other stuff, but I think we got a good base to build upon. Yeah, as we've mentioned now for the 3rd time, this podcast is finally available wherever you can get your podcasts. Like, rate, review, subscribe, share with your friends. All of these things help us gain heat, which means more people are going to listen, which means more people are going to see all of the fun dildo talk in the chat. So just think about that. Yeah, I thought about that. I'm not sure anybody else did.
I'd like to not think about that.
Oh, just Kit with an arc welder just connecting dildos to things.
Next,
Terrifying thought.
I'm going to bring a giant box of this little suction dildos, just like throwing them at cars.
God, that was one of the greatest dreams Pumpkin ever told me about. He was just like driving around with a gun that shot the suction dildos. And they would just stick to cars in his dream. It was great.
So funny story. So there's a company called X Products that makes a cannon, and it's an AR-15, like lower and part of an upper, and then instead of a barrel, there's a barrel, but it's a big thing that shoots a soda can, and you put blanks in it, and it'll shoot a soda can like 20 or 30 yards.
Oh, damn.
And so you could get a suction dildo that's the perfect size, and it will fit into this cannon, and you can shoot it suction cup first. There's somebody on a donut operator on YouTube actually did it and shot a dildo.
Oh.
This kid get it.
Oh, I know exactly what's going to be happening at the Salt City Drift 2 day.
Okay.
Jordan can't fucking stop me.
Instead of a t-shirt gun.
I'm pre-muting Zach so he doesn't interrupt me, but I think we now need to get as many downloads as possible on audio format, because there is an ad now that runs in front of it, so we don't have to do the Patreon thing. And this is what we're buying. This is where our good hard-earned money is going. Forget paying for the hosting and
all that other crap.
Yeah, we need to buy this
The
I
dildo
don't-
cannon.
this cannon thing. Yeah.
It's called the Can Cannon, and it's by a company called X Products.
the cannon. There we go. Zach, you're unmuted now. You can contribute.
Can you shoot the can cannon? Can you shoot the can cannon?
It'll be the cam cannon.
The cannon.
Oh.
As we quickly get permabanned from UMC for shooting dildos at cars.
An AR-15.
It's the unicorn machine.
I'm willing to die on that hill.
I'm imagining the T-shirt cannon from Simpsons. Like, they're just playing over and over and over in my head.
I mean, that's a good one. Anyway, so yeah, there we go. Listen to us on your audio platform of choice. Help us get some subscribers because we need the cam cannon so we can get banned from places.
Discharge firearm.
Yep. Follow us on all of the social medias. We are at Cam Automag on the lot of them. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Bumble Friends.
Bumble. Find me on Bumble, fucking please.
Catch him on Bumble. You won't know what the fuck to do with him, much like we don't know what the fuck to do with him every Monday night.
I'll ask you some stupid ass questions and then you can just unmatch with me.
Join me and AJ and probably Kit this Thursday over on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/CamAutoMike. We're doing the CVT Shitbox Derby. We're going to come up with some shit.
Panorama.
And probably some other places, maybe a couple laps around Old Sarth, because we can't have those pesky chicanes getting in the way. No, actually,
yeah,
we need the chicanes. We need the chicanes. We can't get going that fast. Those belts are just going to start coming through the casing. We don't need that. But yeah, twitch.tv/CamAutoMike, 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. AJ's time, 3 p.m. Hawaiian is when we're getting down.
What about Brisbane?
Brisbane, that is going to be 2:45 next Tuesday.
Dog ears?
That's a bitch.
Yeah. No, actually, I think it would be like 18 hours behind or something like that. So it's the next day, and then so it'd be like 1 or 2 in the morning.
I can't do that kind of math.
I only know that because I watch way too much stuff in Australia. So like
right.
way too many live races. So
1:27 p.m. tomorrow in Brisbane.
okay. So they are 18 hours ahead or something like that.
They are Greenwich Mean Time plus 10.
And we're like 8 from Greenwich, aren't we?
7, right?
I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, so there we go. I think we have promoted all of the things. All right. Oh, and as always, our sponsor, Hustle Energy. There we go. Yeah, there it is. Perfecto. Hustle Focused Energy gives you the focus you need to get through your day and things like this.
I didn't take any before this. That was my problem.
There it is, yeah.
That's what Trent was down on power.
Yep, perfect sense. Didn't have the bottle open. Sitting there hitting the button. Nothing's happening.
See, that's why Trent was missing for the first 20 minutes because he was back in his office doing lines of hustle. Podcast.
Trent's just dumping it on his arm. And away we go.
This explains so much about Shrek. He's a Viper in SPK because he's doing lines of hustle.
He's doing lines of something he really shouldn't do lines of. But here we are.
He's doing lines of hustle off the Cayenne key.
They're going right off the very phallic front end of the Viper.
Which is sitting on the trunk, oddly enough, right now.
Well, good.
but we'll go back. We'll do a little callback. But whose line is it anyway?
Hey.
Everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Yep. I award you all 47 billion points. And there we go. Congratulations.
That's right. The points are like Zach's opinion on anything. They just don't matter.
And I thought we were becoming friends, AJ.
You thought wrong, motherfucker.
Big wrong.
I have no friends. I just have people who tolerate me.
Exactly.
Well, I'm so starved. Oh, I'm sorry, Trent.
I'd like the record to show that was AJ. That was not me. So direct your toward him, please.
AJ,
There we go.
Yeah, send me your hate mail. I need something to wipe my ass with.
There it is.
AJ, I'm so starved for attention and any kind of personal connection with a human being. I'll just put up with it.
I mean, you
Zach's
are
like-
on Tinder. I mean, that's...
Zach's willing to take abuse from an older man just for the attention.
I did not say those words. That's not what I meant.
Nope, but it's out there now.
I hate myself.
We all hate ourselves. That's what we're here for.
Join the club. We have jackets.
Satin team jackets. Alrighty, I think we need to land this thing, so...
We're the depressed pals.
Yeah, we've been circling the airport long enough to put it on the ground.
We've lost 2 engines, so the third one's about ready to go.
First class cabin shitter's clogged.
Oh,
It's full!
so I was driving home from, or I was driving back from my last appointment today, and on one of the big gantry signs over the freeway,
Yeah.
it said, "Put down your cell phone. Twitter's full."
Yeah. Amazing. Somebody's been sitting on that one for a while. Yeah, we're the plane that's about to go down because we wanted to watch another plane that just declared an emergency go down.
Well, I'll see that.
All right, folks, for episode 5 of the Shenaniganry, I have been Mike.
I've been
There it is.
I've been Trent.
I've been AJ.
There it is.
Can we fucking end this shit? Where the fuck is the end button?